Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Here we are, what is it now? 5 days out from the North American Championships. Looking forward to yet another competition. I feel like this prep has just flown by. So just wanted to share my experience with you all as far as this week and how training's going, just to keep you updated. So as I talked about in a video earlier this week, this is a tricky point in training that I've gotten caught up in the past, and I've seen other people get caught up here before as well, where you're just on the downslope of the heavier training, but you still have to train with intention in order to get the most out of everything. And also, especially on day one here, you're really exposed to the possibility of injury if you don't take it completely seriously. So for day one, I had, sets of 4 with 540 pounds on the safety bar squat, and then sets of 8 or 10 here with 445 pounds on snatch grip RDLs. Both of those weights were backed off from last week. I was definitely thankful that these were lighter because I was feeling it from last Saturday whenever I hit my heaviest day of training. So this Monday after the 2 weeks out mark is usually where I'm the most beat up, and I could certainly feel that. So here we are with bench. This was day 2 of the week. I had just sets of 3 and they were supposed to be at an RPE 7. I continued to just linearly progress this. Last week I hit 415. The week before I hit 410. I probably could have gone a little heavier on these this week than 420, but like I said, playing it smart because starting to feel a little beat up. So I was just making sure that the pauses were all up to par here and, making everything exactly as they should be for this last true week of training here. And then I did the same thing with the incline bench. This was sets of 8, supposed to be at 7 at 305 pounds. Definitely nailed these. I know a couple weeks ago the sets of 8 with 295 was pushing an overshoot on the at 7, and this week I would say we were pushing an undershoot. So definitely promising progress here. Just to add 5 pounds each week. My body weight's been progressing in the right direction. At the end of this week, I was sitting around 123.6 kilos, which is a perfect spot to water cut from. In the past, I would say anything over 125 to 126 kilos is something I would consider a hard water cut. And then 124 kilos between there and 125 is like a moderate, and anything below 124 kilos of water cutting is easy work. So I'm looking forward to see how performance on game day benefits from this easier water cut and kind of training at this lighter body weight. So here we are leading into day 3. This is notoriously my hardest day of the week, but thankfully the taper's starting to come in here with 445 pounds as my RDL number. Just a couple weeks ago we were over 600 pounds for these RDLs. So this was more like a deload day, if anything. As you'll see, this RPE was certainly too easy to rate, but it was nice to get moving and kind of get the blood flowing to the hamstrings. And this is kind of the point in the peak where some fatigue starts falling off, right? And each day I'll feel a little bit better. Same thing here with the bench. It was the 500 tempo bench press down to 335 pounds, which is regulated down from last week's 365 pounds. So these felt nice and crispy. I feel like I've really come into my own with my bench press technique just in this past 16-ish weeks of training. So I'm excited to see how that translates onto the platform, along with the easier water cut. I'm hoping for a nice bench PR at this meet. And then finally, we have day 4 of the week, which is kind of my last 2 raw kind of day. Even though it's not as heavy as the week before, I still try and treat it like a dress rehearsal of sorts. In football, back in the high school days, we used to go out on Thursdays, the day before our game, and just be on the actual field and run through our pregame rituals, all that good stuff, the day before the actual games. That's what this training session feels like to me. That's how I approach it. All of my warm-ups are exactly how I will do them on game day. And then it's working up to a little bit less than an opener for something like squat. And then deadlift will be something like a last warm-up. And my bench is actually heavier on this day, as you'll see. So first with squat, we've got 705 pounds. Starting to feel a little bit more fresh, but still, beat up enough to where I'm confident that on meet day, this will move even better as the last bit of that fatigue drops off. But very happy with how this moved, and I'm comfortable with, opening in that, low 7s range on squat. Then we've got bench press, which, like I said, is actually heavier, and I always seem to forget this because I build myself up to that 2 weeks out mark, and then I realize, I've got a heavier bench 1 week out. So this was supposed to be a single at 9, worked up to 480 pounds, which is 5 pounds above what we did last week. And honestly, super happy about the pause. Super happy about the speed. I think with this here, considering I hit 463 and missed 474 in February, I think we're setting up well to have a PR bench day. And that should get me some good momentum leading into deadlift. So certainly excited about that. And then here's my final deadlift of prep. I did have some back down doubles on this. I have back down doubles on bench too. I guess I should have thrown both of those in there, but they were on the lighter end. The doubles here were with 605 and the doubles on bench were with 445 pounds, which is around what I'll open with. But here's 660, my top single for the day. Like I said, this will probably be around a last warm-up, and it moved very well, all things considering. So much like a warm-up, as it should be. So that's a wrap. I'll probably train on Monday, maybe do some bodybuilding stuff in the hotel, but otherwise, I can't wait to hit it in the Cayman Islands. Thank you all for following along. I'll keep you posted as the water cut goes along. Like and subscribe as always, and until next time, happy lifting.